Things off, we will start down to the bottom left-hand side. Our blue Zerg player from Team Liquid. This is Snute. And to the upper right-hand side of the map, our red Protoss player. This, my friends, is Cyan. Alrighty. This is going to be nice and fun. Sorry, just grabbing myself a quick little drink right there. This should be fun, actually. It should be a really enjoyable little series. Best of 3 to get things going today, guys. So, Snute versus Cyan, and I'm already intrigued as to what just might happen here, because Cyan is obviously a Chinese Protoss player, but he did so well in the qualifiers to make it through. Yishi as well, our other Protoss player from China that's in the playoffs here today, he plays against True after this, and he also had a very good attempt in the qualifiers. Both those players qualified through. I mean, I wasn't going to invite the Chinese players to play on the European server, but hey, if they're going to go and qualify, who am I to stop them? So, yeah, this is on European server, of course, and so I think we have to look at this as Snute being a heavy favorite. Remember, if you do make round of 4, you're already in the prize money, so that's something to watch out for here, because we are going to be seeing some drones mining away on the natural, and the main base, sorry, and this probe just trying to be a nuisance, blocking them away. So, link speed starting up right now, as we do have the hatcheries finished, of course. Nexus and the Cyberhawkers getting up. So I'm just trying to set my get tweets going and stuff like that. I've been a bit disorganized because honestly, I had to rush back in a little bit. I was a little bit disorganized today, guys. I'm not gonna lie. So sorry if I'm a little bit kind of hectic here and there, but we should be able to focus up on the game now. So. Adept on the way up at the moment. What he's scoring them kills? No, it's not like that at all. I know it's starting to sound like that, which is why I tried to turn it in the other direction ASAP. Took a kill home. I don't take a kill home. I took it to the studio, you know. The studio isn't in my home, so it's not really the same kind of thing, you know. And you do see this Adept coming down towards the bottom left-hand side, looking to see what is up. And we are just going to be having the... well, they're just taking a little bit of damage right here. So, a couple of shots going down. Stargate about to finish in the main base right now of Cyan. So, getting that underway. Getting that ready to go. And we are going to be seeing the Phoenix on the way out. So, I mean, very standard stuff here. The Phoenix will come along and chase the Overlord away. Just a little bit in the near future. As that link speed is just about to finish. So, link speed finishing up right now. And we are going to see another couple of drones on the way out as well. The depth starting to shade across towards the upper right-hand side of the map. So Cyan into just head back home for the moment. And we are going to see a Twilight Council for Cyan as well. So Twilight Council coming up right at the moment. We do see the hatchery from Snute is on the way down as well on the third base. So continue to get this going. And we are going to have this Overlord. It's actually retracting back home, so making sure he doesn't lose too much to that first Phoenix. Really not giving Cyan any options with this Phoenix beyond the initial. Okay, you get the one Overlord that I do send across the map to see what's going on early. But that's all you're going to get. I didn't send a second Overlord. I know it's going to die to a Phoenix before I get a scout off with it. And this Phoenix, by the way, straight into a Twilight Council and a Robo Facility. With extra gates coming up, I'm already feeling the aggression here out of Cyan. You know, this doesn't feel very friendly at all. 5 gates in total right now. I mean, yeah, this is looking as though he wants to get attacking, he wants to get feisty very, very soon in this series, as we do see a few lings gathering together. A couple of Adepts starting to shade down towards the bottom left-hand side. So there's a couple of Adepts of Cyan trying to look to see what they can get up to now. 6 gates on the way in total. Warp Prism will be on the way out soon. I mean, it kind of feels like you're going to add a Templar Archives to this, otherwise why are you still mining gas, right? What are you going to warp in with the gas? Snute, purely drone production at the moment, has not figured out what's going on. I wonder if the lack of an Oracle can be somewhat of a sign here for Snute, though. Something to kind of look at this and say, well, buddy, why aren't you, why don't you have an Oracle? Why have you skipped that? What are you saving gas for instead to not build an Oracle? It is just going to be charge lots, and I'm just intrigued as to what Cyan does spend the gas on. Maybe a couple of sentries, of course, are a possibility as well to add in. He'll build an Observer right away, but still has 300 gas in the bank, so he still has room to play with, as we will see Snute with the Banelin Nest coming down. I mean, the Banelin Nest is going to go a long way to helping out, but is it going to be enough? I'm not too sure. Lings at the front will see just an Adept. Warp Prism has not been seen in this Warping of Zealots. Snute needs to start making units now. He's on 62 drones. Obviously, if he holds this, boom, he's in a fantastic spot. But how on earth do you hold, what, 10 plus Zealots already at the front door? That's 12 Zealots. Well, Snute says, actually, I don't. He pulls away from the third hatchery already, starts to expand down to the south side instead, and he needs that Banelin Nest. He needs these Zergons to morph into Banelins ASAP here. Extra Zealots are already morphing in, and that's obviously not really boding well, as Snute did not see this coming, and Cyan right now is looking as though he might be able to take game number 1, as drones will continue to pull on in, but these Zealots are already going huge, and I think this might be just a little bit too much damage. 17 workers killed, and counting still, 21 workers killed. It's a GG. Snute is going to tap out of game number 1. Too greedy here on Lost and Found, and Cyan in the semi-finals. He's going to find himself already in the prize money. As we do see, starting to the bottom right-hand side, down a game. Our blue Zerg player, this is Snute. Very greedy there in game 1. Too many assumptions. I mean, you know, he didn't see anything coming. But he also just didn't see anything, right? Didn't see an Oracle, and I just don't know what he was expecting. No third Nexus or anything. He didn't really have any reason to be so greedy. And yet, I guess sometimes that's just the risk you take if you're going to roll the dice just a little bit, as we do have to the top left-hand side our red Protoss player now up a game, Cyan. Cyan with the Pylon Sky to try and block the hatchery first. I'm coming down here on the low ground. So he is going to move a probe over, and he is going to block the hatchery. Get out of here, Mr. Drone. No fun for you today. He gets completely blocked as we see that probe patrolling around. Gateway coming up here from Cyan at the front, about halfway done already. Another couple of probes finishing, starting to get themselves into the assimilator. And yeah, you're getting this underway right now, as we do see the hatchery coming down to the third base as well. So, again, nothing too ridiculous for the moment. I mean, Snute in the end still goes hatch gas pool, just puts the third base hatch down rather than the natural. Isn't too much of an issue. That's going to be seeing a couple of drones continue to pop on out here. Nexus coming in on this natural expansion as well. So Nexus coming through for the moment. Cyan still getting himself set up right here, and Snute is continuing to head his way towards the upper left-hand side of the map. So Snute continuing in towards the upper left, and obviously, as that happens, we're just going to be seeing the assimilator and a pylon dropping down here from Cyan as well, so really nothing too much to talk about just for the very first few moments of this. Again, Snute and Cyan both came all the way through the qualifiers. In fact, they came through the same qualifier, did they not? Snute against Yishi? No, I think Snute against Yishi was actually in the first qualifier, wasn't it? Cyan came through the second qualifier. So, yeah, they were in different qualifiers, actually. So they haven't played each other yet in any phase of this tournament. Obviously, they weren't in the same group as each other. That's why they're playing in the first round here. First opportunity for group-based rematches would come in the round of 4, when the winners of groups would be able to play against the second or third place of their groups again if they were able to advance through the round of 6. So Hearthstone against Cyan would be a rematch on this side of the bracket. Bly against True would be a rematch on the bottom half of the bracket. My sweet Baxter in the chat has actually just now crunched the numbers, and results are in. Protoss is in fact OP. Well guys, we can put away our fucking calculators, we can put away our notebooks. My sweet Baxter has done us all a favor. He's done the math for us. Thank you, Baxter. Don't know what we would do without you. Link speed on the way up here from Snute, going to finish up in a few moments' time, along with a few more drones continue to pop out at the moment. There's a few more drones on the way. This Oracle is being chrono boosted out of this Stargate as well, so Oracle will pop very shortly also. I mean, obviously this time the Oracle is a bit of a difference because, you know, he's actually not even made the Phoenix clean out the Overlord yet, so Snute will know it's not the same build right away at least. You know, it could still be a similar follow-up, but with a Phoenix on the way out, I mean, he's not going to be able to scout for certain. Let's see what this Oracle can do as it comes down towards this third base. However, the Spore Crawler already in location is going to be able to deflect fairly simply with the Queen as well. And so the initial Oracle shouldn't do much more than maybe 1 or 2 workers killed, if that. Now, comboed with the Adepts, there's obviously a little bit more potential right there. Snute is going to play in towards Roaches this time around. Drones actually pulled in with those Zergons for a moment there. A little bit of a mistake, I would say, from Snute, as those Queens get a lot of damage done, and that Oracle is basically dead already. We'll poke in towards the natural, in towards the Queen, and it will go down. This Oracle achieves nothing here. Snute getting a good pickup at the start. Very nicely done, and that goes a long way for him. Just going to be seeing the Twilight Counselors setting up as well right now. So Cyan going to continue transitioning here, as you do see this Overlord being chased down by a Phoenix. So Phoenix picking up the kill right there. Another couple of gateways on the way up right now, as we do see this Adept off over to the right-hand side, and this probe should just be able to throw down a Nexus, a pylon, and get ready to expand. This game, Cyan is definitely going for the more straight-ahead sort of playstyle. He's not really doing the same sort of shenanigans in the first game. Obviously, he's not looking to mass anything up. Maybe Snute is, though. 9 roaches in the production tab. 10 roaches in the production tab. Snute not currently being afraid of the fact that he's 1-0 down and that an all-in base attack might put an end to this. Unless he's really just looking to shut these Adepts down, but maybe he looks to shut the Adepts down and then to counter-attack across the maps with these units as well. It's a very popular way of kind of doing things against Adept-based plays. His Adepts don't even have glaives, so there isn't really anything on the map. 8 Adepts without glaives, 1 Phoenix, 1 Oracle. More Lings on the way up as well, and Snute is kind of waiting for these Adepts to commit in, but it's not happening. So really, he's going to have to get moving if he wants to make this attack happen. He's still making units, and so Snute is almost definitely going to go for this. Still just going for a few more moments, hide the roaches. Gets to a point, though, where you just have to go for it. I mean, the robot facility still isn't up, so mortar production is still not available. Queen's coming even further forwards right now, and that Phoenix is forced away, so he's not going to get vision. And maybe this is going to be some nice little kind of payback, some revenge from Snute. You all in me, I'll all in you. As we are going to be seeing more Zerglings coming up the left-hand side. So as the Ravagers morph into, Queens are coming over. There really isn't that much here for our Protoss play. It really is just these Adepts. Oh wow, those roaches getting caught on the ramp is actually a huge deal. Lings will surround. Resonating Glaives is moments away. And without Resonating Glaives, this is actually going to be a bit of an issue. Corrosive Bowels will start to connect. Force Fields were pretty good to buy some time. That Stasis Ward on the roaches is absolutely insane. It's buying so much time at the moment. Going to be seeing the units going to continue to work their way through the rocks. Force Field will come down. Corrosive Bow will take it away. Sentries are out of energy. Well, there's 1 sentry left, which does have energy. Corrosive Bow again. Queens get rid of the Oracle. And Snute is up on the high ground, still doubling his opponent's zombie supply as more Adepts warp in. I just don't feel they're really the answer. Sentries out of energy don't really provide enough damage either. And, well, a couple of shield batteries coming up over here. He either has to deal with these ASAP or deal with the Immortal before they come up, because I feel once the shield batteries are here, this is going to be a much more problematic sort of attack. As we do see the shield batteries taking some hits in the natural. Lings are starting to deal some damage. 5 probes have gone down. We'll see the shield batteries. I mean, Snute kills them, but by this point, they've already kind of lost all of their energy anyways. They don't have much more to kind of throw back into this. Immortals are being produced still on this robo. Powered by 2 pylons. It will not just be depowered plain and simply. It will be able to stand strong even if those pylons fall. So Snute's going to have to just target the Immortals instead. But honestly, as you can see, he is going to have enough. And we are going to be seeing this. Third Nexus is going to be picked away at. GG's. Snute takes game number 2. And in a series of all-ins from either player for another... I don't believe it. He gives a sub to Inch to Maniac, and yet I answered first. Insane. Thank you so much, Port, for the 2 sub gifts. Welcome, Inch to Maniac and Don Bolchevik to the Wardy family. Great to have you as we get into game number 3 of the series. To the bottom right-hand side. Taking a quick victory of the all-in in the first game, but falling to his opponent's all-in in game number 2. Our red Protoss player, this is Cyan. And to the upper left-hand side, it is the blue Zerg player from Team Liquid. Give it up for Snute. Port now with the 74 sub-gifts in the channel. Just a casual 26 to go for that big 100. Hashtag esports hero. Alright, getting set up and getting ready to roll. What is up in the chat, guys? Great to see you with me today. I'm very happy to be back. I was a little bit tired when I was tapping out of last night's cast, but we had really such an amazing group yesterday. The Group B of this competition was so fantastic. I'm sad that we didn't get to cast more replays, and I'm sad that I have to be off early tonight for an early flight tomorrow as I go to Home Story Cup. Because otherwise I would cast the rest of the replays we didn't cast yesterday. Because yesterday's group was just so much fun. It was so close. It was pretty insane. Really enjoyed it. Isn't it great when we get to create events and we get to create really awesome matches in them and stuff? Great stuff. So, as we set up for game 3 here, we do get ourselves a rolling with an Adept once again, making its way towards the upper left-hand side of the map. So, Adept coming in towards the upper left, having a little bit of a look to see what's going on. Stargate coming down from Cyan in the main base, so really nothing too crazy about his opening. It looks the same as every other opening for the first few minutes, at least done so far. Of course, the questions are, where does he go from here? What are his follow-ups going to start looking like? And well, again, we'll figure that out here very shortly. As we get this setting on up. Adept is trying to just keep scout of what's going on. Obviously, you don't gain too much info here, but it does allow you to kind of see the drone count every now and then, some bits and pieces like that. Second gateway already on the way up from Cyan, getting this wall off set up, as he is also throwing down the Oracle in the main base. What other matches are on today, asks Aqua Snake. Well, after this, we have Yishi versus True in the second best-of-3 round of 6 matchup. Then the winner of this series right now, Snute or Cyan, will play against Halston. Then we will also have the winner of Yishi and True playing against Bly. Those will be best-of-5s. Then we have our grand finals, of course. Alright, so Phoenix coming up in towards the center of the map. Obviously just wants to try and scout around and again push back Overlord. Snute is once more only really sending that first Overlord across the map to scout here early on. Robo and Twilight very close to completing for each other, so just getting this up. A couple extra gateways coming down. Melee upgrade comes in from Snute, as we do see a couple of drones getting picked up. 5 workers are taken down so far here, as we'll see this Oracle going to hop on over to the third base, but Spore Crawler is going to be able to get it very low, 4 hit points remaining. Melee upgrade then from Snute. Going back into what he was trying to do in game number 1, but, well, will he be allowed to? We do see the War Prism being Chrono Boosted out. Obviously, he's not going to be stopped as early by the Zealots last game. But the Chrono Boost on this Prism means as the Prism comes in, Archons will be available, Charge will be available. Mauling's on the way up. That Bane Nest as it completes, of course, gives a big layer of safety, although against the Archons, the Banes don't really add too much, but they are very good at stopping kind of Zealot reinforcements helping out as well. 4 Queens still gathering together. Thank you so much, Port. He's given out another couple of sub-gifts. Welcome, DH Lazuli, and also Chaps to the Wardy family. How you guys doing? Thank you so much, Port, for gifting out all the subs, as always. The Archons will load on up in towards the War Prism, and they will head towards the main base, as we do have Lings, Queens coming on through and heading in towards the main base. Just going to be seeing the Phoenix takes a couple of shots, but first Queen lifted. Makes it easy pickings for this Archon, as we're going to see the rest of the Queens going to go for the Phoenix kill, and they will get it very low, but unfortunately the Queen still does go down. Charge about to finish here, as obviously that will allow maybe some Zealots to join these Archons. Let's see just how Cyan wants to approach this. He has 4 more gates about to finish, so we're talking about 8 gateways at the moment. Obviously, he does have that third nexus. Okay, he actually only has 2 more gates finishing. The extra 2 have only just started, so he's actually pretty in the clear for now. As we are going to be seeing 2 Archons lifting up again. The Queens pushing that War Prism away, and pushing out back towards the center. Observers continue to be picked away at. Continue to help pick away at the group spread, of course, as Snute bringing his Queens forwards at this stage. And this is the sort of point at which Snute, well, he survived the initial Archon harass. It allows him to get onto the map. The Hydra's Den is done. He's actually going to go straight in towards a Lurker Den. So he's not going to try and win this game off Lingbane Hydra. He's going to try and tech up a little bit beyond that with the Lurkers. And, well, that's not a bad thing, especially as Storm from Cyan is already on the way up here. Ling is going to run by in towards the third, and of course this could bring the economy down just a little bit. Snute doesn't have an amazing economy, only 66 workers at the moment. compared to the 64 probes. It's pretty evened out, so being able to get a couple kills here and there is nice. He did just add on around a drone, so obviously just continue to buff for that, especially just as his 4th base comes up. It makes a lot of sense in terms of the timing. So just making his way to towards that base on the upper right hand side. 10 Hydras currently coming through here, as you will see the grooved spines is approaching the halfway marker as well. Snute's still staying very active with these Zerglings though, by the way. I mean, he's moving down towards the bottom left here, and we are going to be having these Zealots and Archons going to be charging forwards in towards these Queens. One Queen already picked off. A lot of creep team is starting to go down right now, and we are going to be having these Queens pulling all the way away. Extra Hydras and Veins coming forwards. And they are going to be able to clean this out, so Zealots do get picked off here. But Snute will lose the 4th from the top right side. Honestly, kind of a weird place to take the 4th base. I'm not really sure what's going on right there. I'm not sure why he didn't just try and take this base right from the get-go. Anyways, he will just have the new 4th coming up, so that's not too much of an issue. Obviously, Snute's life gets easier here very shortly because he's about to morph in Lurkers, and they're obviously going to be a big part of being able to hold the ground and just hold off the Protoss player in a lot of these fights, which the Protoss would like to try and take. Coming down into the center, a lot of Ling Hydra for the moment. A few Lurkers morphing in. +2 weapon upgrade from Cyan being chrono boosted out, and we are going to be having these few Zealots continue to come around the bottom left hand side, so they are going to have a look to see what they can do here very soon as well. Once come in, and they are going to be able to well, slow this down a little bit. In fact, Snute's going to clean this up. I mean, the power of +2 melee, right? So it's actually getting cleaned out all over the place pretty quickly. So Snute, not only does he clean those up, but it means his own run-bys and presences on the map. And well, it's going to be maybe also a bit of a distraction, as we do have these rocks starting to get taken down. And as these rocks get taken down, it will give access up in towards this Nexus area. Already these Lurkers kind of just sat behind, making it difficult, as we do see a couple of cannons on the way up. Anything to try and deter these Lurkers at the moment, as they will press a bit further forwards. There is a revelation. So these units now revealed, able to be seen by the naked Protoss eye for the next 30 seconds or so. First Storm misses everything apart from the Overseers, which doesn't really do too much. The Overseers are sieged up because they would like to try and target down the Observers coming in, or help to see the Observers coming in so Hydras can target them down, to be more correct. Big Stasis Wards. Snute's been running into a lot of Stasis Wards the last few days, but I have to say, after watching him play in this event, so I really feel Snute just doesn't really seem to care if he runs into a Stasis Ward. We'll see Storms coming down, and Snute will start pulling away towards the upper left-hand side. As Ling is still caught in the center, and we are going to see an Archon to the right. And he's going to get a couple of shots, even killing a Lurker here. Snute not able to keep all of them alive as he pulls all the way back. Prism in the main. Oh, this is going to be a couple of Hydras going to try and stop the Warpin. It's super close. He gets the Prism, but the Warpin finishes. Extra Hydras though, drones pulling forwards. Snute will be able to hold this position, but honestly, this attack through the center is looking a little bit more dangerous. There's still a lot of Storms available, and Snute, 11 more Hydras on the way out. He's very far pushed back here, so that upper right third base, that really is in some trouble if he can't get those Lurkers in a bit of a more forward position and into this engagement. More transfusions coming down. Queen in the back goes down with a lot of energy on it. Snute's going to lose this third hatchery, so this is about a drop. Cyan has so much money in the bank as well. 1.4k, 1.8k. Right now, he is kind of marching his way through in towards a potential semi-final slot against Hearthstone, looking to try and get revenge for, not yesterday, but was it Friday's group, I think it was? Friday's group of this tournament. 2 Stargates coming down in the main base, and we will just see an Immortal picked off here to the left-hand side. Flipping 2 more Stargates currently on the way up. We will have the Lingers again to surround on that Zelt there, taking that down. Meanwhile, a War Prism heading up the left-hand side is going to be setting up to try and take down this hatchery as well. 7 Zealots will warp in, and they will come in to try and cancel this here. It's going to be a cancel in a moment or two. So again, Snute unable to really keep his bases alive. Doesn't get the cancel either, so it's a straight-up kill. And Snute's just losing minerals where he doesn't need to be losing them. And that's going to start getting costly very shortly, as Cyan has a lot of Archons up in this game. Carrier production is starting, and Snute, unless these Lurkers work some absolute magic here, Snute's not going to have much of a chance in this game in the long term. because he's not preparing for carriers right now. You know, as they start to come up, well, Snute is very simply in a lot of trouble. Alright, another couple of lurkers just moving on forwards. Just coming out into the center. We'll pick off a Zealot too. We'll Prism unload, and a few more Zealots are going to be moving around. Queens and Hydras able to pick off that Prism right there. Nicely done. I mean, at least for a moment, Snute won't be having any counterattacks coming into his bases, so you can take a moment to breathe. But then the issue becomes, how do you deal with these carriers, right? I mean, at this stage, what does he have? Hydralisk alone are not really going to get the job done. So he either wins this game Snute right now, or he does a lot of damage now and techs up to deal with the carriers. There's no way he wins this once more than 3 carriers on the map with solely Hydras for his anti-air. Yeah, that lurking count of what? At this point, it's approaching 16 or so. You know, it's scary, okay, yes. I'm not going to deny that. But it's not really, again, you know, it's not an issue for the carriers. The carriers, they don't, you know, care if lurkers are killing everything on the ground. They'll just shoot from the skies. So already a couple of Archons getting some shots off there. Nicely done. Those Archons are so tanky as well. It takes so many lurker shots to actually get something done. Storm coming in defensively. Some opening DTs will get taken down before it's done. So Snute has a position here to the left-hand side. Now, if you Hydras to the right at the same time, actually wouldn't do much because of the cannons. You can understand that's the frustrating part though, right? He kind of feels like he should be taking this opportunity to also do damage elsewhere simultaneously. More Hydras coming up this ramp. Storm still dropping. Snute going to try and keep on chasing forwards. He won't quite kill that High Templar. He really wants to get this Nexus, if nothing else. Again, I mean, as carriers start to come on out, I mean, you can see these very lurkers have a very difficult time in terms of what they can do. And right now, well, the Overseer's just got killed with, you know, Overseer. Snute is not going to see any of this. Cyan is going to move his way through into the semi-finals as he takes down the entirety of Snute's army. And this best of 3 is going to go Cyan's way. What an absolute shocking result here to start things off. GG. Cyan moves through to the